It's either you have come to realize it yourself, or maybe you've not really paid much attention to it. If you haven't paid much attention to it, then let's reason together. Now, I've come to realize one thing. It's a hard truth, and the truth is this: there is no Father Christmas coming from anywhere to save us, especially we in Africa. The only one that we have to save us is you and I. So the earlier we realize this, the better it will be. Now, let me give you an example. The Western world that we seem to think that push come to shove, they may come to save us, rescue us. They're not going to. They are not coming to do anything that we are sitting there looking forward to. It's about time we begin to take steps to developing ourselves. Two countries on the continent of Africa that makes a lot of noise, and sometimes when I sit down and listen to the noise they make and the banter and the argument and the superiority that they want to exert on others, it breaks my heart. Do you know why it breaks my heart? It's not the banter that they are having online. That can be fun and stuff like that, not really a big deal. But the question here is that what collaboration have they done? I'm talking about Ghana and Nigeria. What collaboration have we done? If we take music and movies out of it, that's fantastic. Entertainment industry is a huge multi-billion, if not trillion-dollar industry. We cannot really underestimate that. It's a brilliant industry. But when we put that one aside, there's one thing I do know. When you go to Nigeria, when you go to Ghana, herbal medicine is something else. They almost all claim to have all kinds of cure, remedy for all sorts of disease. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't work. Why am I bringing in this? The question here is, what have we collaborated on, these two countries that are making a lot of noise on the internet? What have we collaborated on? Have we collaborated on science? Have we collaborated on medicine? Have we collaborated on aeronautics? Have we collaborated on automobile? Have we collaborated even on the typical herbal medicines that we have? Have we been able to collaborate on it to come up with all kinds of cure for all kinds of disease? We are sitting down and seem to be thinking that, worst case scenario, the West is, if the West is going to come in, they're going to come in to benefit that which they stand to benefit. It's about time we begin to think into things. It's about time such a vibrant continent with youth stands up and begin to look at things, begin to challenge the status quo, begin to do things that ought to be done, begin to look into things the way we ought to look into. Because as I said, nobody's coming to save us. If we don't take the necessary steps to save ourselves and to collaborate with ourselves and to work together with ourselves by means of sharing our wealth on the continent, then I don't know. If you look at what is happening now, if the world is going on this same trajectory for the next 20-25 years, Africa might end up being one of the most miserable continents ever. Some of the head of states sometimes may make certain statements that sounds quite detrimental and quite painful, but when you look into them, they do make some sense. Once upon a time, I don't know how true that is, apparently President Putin said that Africa has become like graveyard because the youth will go to the West, work there behind now, come back to the continent and possibly die. And then once upon a time, a politician was a president in America, Mr. Trump, called us a certain name. But when you look into it, well and truly, are they wrong? If they are not wrong, are they right? Let's say they are wrong, or let's say they are right. If they are right, how do we challenge the status quo? How do we prove certain things? Somebody say we don't have anything to prove. We have everything to prove. Everything to prove. We can't be a continent of consumers when we don't produce anything. Hence, people can come up with all kinds of things to just dump it on us, and we might not seem to have a choice than to just get on with it. I don't think that is the best thing to do. If you want to know the reason why I'm saying the West is not coming to save us, look at the rules, the regulations, the laws they put in place when it comes to medicine, aeronautics, automobile, science, and everything to control it. So if we're gonna sit down to think that they are coming to save us, they're not coming to save us. Let's be delusional and believe there is a savior coming from somewhere. Let me say this: when you go to school, all right, and there is a subject you are very much interested in, the teacher of that subject will be interested in you. So now the point here is, let's use interest as the subject here. What interest are we portraying to them? Why are we all only being consumers but not producers? I tell you, there is no Father Christmas coming from anywhere. I tell you, there is nobody coming to save us from anywhere. The earlier we get this into our heads and begin to take the necessary steps to do things. And there is a saying that a good elder plants a tree that he will not enjoy the shade thereof. That is to say that everything we are saying now and the noise that we are making and stuff like that, we are making them for future generation. So if we don't make such noise for them to take the necessary steps, they're going to repeat the same cycle. And as they repeat the same cycle, it's detrimental to them. In the whole wide world, there's corruption being cried everywhere. We need to make a move. We need to take certain steps. We need to do things in a way that it will not only benefit us right now, but future generations. If they have sat down and had planned and plotted things thousands of years to come, don't you think we need to try and emulate and do the same? If we don't show no interest, then nobody is coming to show any interest in us. Now, hey, this is Jojo Dimenza here. What do I know? Still, my take.